and certainly a lot more expensive. Hence the need to ensure that anyone who works as an interpreter, for example with a large international organisation like the European Union, where I used to work, has to be capable of providing that quality interpretation. So I'm going to change my hat again and not be a delegate anymore, but become a member of a European Union test panel, checking the suitability of freelance interpreters to be employed by us. So how do we go about this? Well, we look for the quality features that I've just described as a delegate. At least one member of the test panel will listen only to the candidate's interpretation in order to check that it makes sense. If it doesn't, the candidate has failed. If it does, the rest of the panel will then look at how faithful the message was to the original, because most of the panel, unlike the average delegate, will have listened both to the original speech and to the interpretation. If there are some major mistakes, the candidate will be marked down and will probably fail, but of course this will depend on how serious the mistakes are and also how difficult the original speech was. The panel will then consider the candidate's use of language. Was it natural, authentic? Also, what about his or her delivery? And they probably won't look at the use of terminology because most speeches given at tests are not technical in nature. Finally, they'll look to see whether the candidate applied the sort of skills, techniques and coping tactics that he would normally have learnt at an interpreting school. The end product doesn't have to be perfect. Interpretation rarely is, but the message has to be conveyed clearly and faithfully in a form which would allow a delegate to understand pretty well what someone else was saying in a meeting, and to understand in reasonable comfort without having to work hard to decipher what the interpreter's message is. So there you have it. I've tried to show what distinguishes quality interpretation from the rest, and also how test panels look for it. Above all, I hope I've made it clear that quality interpretation is the only interpretation worth having. Thank you.